Dele Alli was on top of the footballing world, being one of the youngest and brightest talents in the Premier League. He started week in and week out for Tottenham Hotspur, and he also banged in goals for fun. However, fast forward a few years and he's being subbed out in the 30th minute for Besiktas with the fans booing his name. Dele was supposed to be the next superstar for England and an all-time Premier League great, but obviously that did not go to plan. What happened to Dele Alli? Well, let me take you through the rise and fall of his career. Dele Alli was one of the hottest prospects in League One while he was playing for his first club, MK Dons. And in his first full season at Dons, he got 7 goals and 4 assists across all competitions. Remember, Dele was 17 at that time, so these stats are not bad at all. More importantly though, in his last season for the club, he increased his production tremendously and managed to get 16 goals and 11 assists in 44 games. These stats would be really good for a striker, but the fact that Dele Alli wasn't a striker and instead was an attacking midfielder or a 10 make these stats look amazing. Now obviously big clubs are going to take notice of Dele Alli's historic season for MK Dons, and that's when Tottenham Hotspur picked up the 18-year-old in the last few hours of the transfer window on a 5.5-year deal for an initial fee of £5 million. And in hindsight, this deal was a bargain for someone as talented as Dele. That's because in his first season for Tottenham, he got 10 goals and 11 assists across all competitions. 10 goals in the Prem in your first season is extremely impressive, and this is where Dele Alli first showed to the world that he's the real deal. And in fact, the world did take notice because he was awarded the PFA Young Player of the season for the first time for his achievements. However, that's not the only time he's won this award. That's because in the season after, which was the 16-17 season, Dele Alli did even better for Tottenham. That's because across all competitions he managed to get 22 goals and 13 assists in 50 games. Like I've said before, these stats would be really good for a striker, but the fact that Dele Alli is actually an attacking midfielder makes these stats look even better. As an attacking mid, your main priority isn't even to score goals, so the fact that he still got 22 is crazy. Now the world took notice of him yet again because he went on to win a PFA Young Player of the Season award for the second time, making him join the likes of Ryan Giggs, Robbie Fowler, Wayne Rooney, and now Phil Foden on players who have won the award more than once. Now there are other memorable moments for Dele Alli in this season. He just started to get into the England setup in a crucial couple years before the 2018 World Cup, and spoiler alert, he played a huge part in that tournament for England. Now going back to the 16-17 season, everybody expected Dele Alli to improve these stats in the next campaign. However, that wasn't the case, and maybe these were the first signs of Dele Alli falling off. Now he did still play a prominent role for Tottenham, getting respectable 14 goals and 17 assists in 50 games. And obviously this is still a really good output for an attacking midfielder like Dele, but it isn't comparable to the stats he had the season prior. Now the real concerns in my opinion showed in the 18-19 season, and that's a season where Dele Alli was injury plagued and he only managed to get 7 goals and 8 assists in 38 games. But more importantly, in the Premier League alone, he only managed to get 5 goals and 3 assists in 25 games. Now obviously there's more than one reason as to why Dele Alli had a significantly lower output in the 18-19 season. Like I mentioned, in the campaign he's played with injuries more than once, and when you're injured it stops you from building momentum and confidence to help with your game. However, injuries aren't the only thing that prevented Dele Alli from having a good season. The other reason is Fortnite. Yes, I know, as ridiculous as it sounds. It was being reported throughout the entire season that Dele Alli was spending a lot of time playing video games, and particularly Fortnite. He even streamed it on his Twitch channel quite frequently as well, and that just shows how much attention he was showing that game. Now let's make it clear, footballers are not robots. They're just the same as you and I. They have the free time to do whatever they want, and Dele chose to spend his time by playing Fortnite. I mean, I don't blame him. I played a lot of Fortnite in 2018 too. And fun fact, I actually lost my high school relationship by playing way too much Fortnite and spending too much time on that game instead of spending time with her. I mean, low-key, I got my priorities straight. Anyways, let's go back to the topic. My fault. And for Dele Alli, he was actually so invested in video games that he even got into esports business by affiliating himself with an esports brand. Footballers getting into other business ventures is not a bad thing at all. Go get your bag. However, you still have to make sure that football is your top priority, because as a footballer, every business that you have relies on how good you're playing at football, how much money you're earning, and how relevant you are in the game. But after Dele Alli made this significant business venture into video games, it did seem like he was changing his priorities from football to that, and this played a role in Dele Alli's downfall. Now let's go back to Dele's footballing career instead of Fortnite. Dele actually later got a hamstring injury and missed a large portion of football, including the beginning of the 1920 season. Now his old coach Pochettino loved playing with an attacking style with his team, and he's one of the biggest reasons why Dele Alli excelled so much. Obviously, if you're an attacking midfielder playing in an attacking formation, you're gonna excel. However, while Dele was out, Poch actually got sacked, and instead the chairman of Tottenham decided to bring in the exact opposite of Pochettino into the job, Jose Mourinho. Mourinho is one of the most highly respected managers in the world, and he's won a lot of trophies as a manager. He is a serial winner. He won the Prem 3 times with Chelsea, won the Champions League with Inter Milan and Porto, and even won trophies for the best football club in the world, Real Madrid. Mourinho is a winner, and most winners are ruthless. And that's what Mourinho was, a ruthless coach. And one of the players who received the most wrath from Mourinho was of course Dele Alli. It's clear that Dele Alli was not his best self. He lost the manager that believed in him the most and allowed him to excel, and he was also plagued by numerous injuries and quite serious ones in fact. Now you come back to training and all of a sudden you got Jose Mourinho calling you lazy and always rambling at you. We all know the iconic clip of Jose Mourinho talking to Dele Alli in his office where he tells Dele that one day he'll regret not taking football more seriously if he does not reach the level where he can reach. To be fair to Mourinho, he was not wrong. I'm sure that Dele himself doesn't like where he's at in football right now, so it does seem like in hindsight that Mourinho was right. Plus, Jose is ruthless and he's a winner, and he doesn't have time for players that he feels like will slow him down, which is why Mourinho eventually tossed Dele to the side and made him a bench player. However, I feel like when you're already at such low confidence like Dele Alli was, maybe this wasn't the best thing to hear from your manager at that time. It probably hurt a lot. Now, some players would hear what Mourinho has to say about them and work even harder to prove him wrong, but some others would give up and think, why would I work for a manager who already doesn't like me and talks down on me? And I feel like Dele Alli took that second approach from Mourinho. Let's move on to the following season where Dele Alli has become a bench player for Tottenham. His stats are pretty terrible, with him getting only 3 goals and 5 assists in the 29 games he took a part in. And in that season, he only started 7 games. Like I said, he was a bench player. It was clear that Dele needed something new, a change of scenery maybe to get his career back on track. And that's where Everton came in and snapped up Dele Alli to hopefully help him revive his career. Frank Lampard, the manager of Everton, used to play somewhat of a similar role to Dele, and maybe he could have been the perfect man to change Dele back into a superstar like he once was. But oh boy, we could not be more wrong. Dele Alli actually became a bench player for a terrible Everton side. And on top of that, he didn't manage to score a single goal or manage to get a single assist for the club. There was also a game where he got subbed on and only played 1 minute in the game. Like I said, the move to Everton did not help him at all in his career. Dele Alli obviously had the talent, but the work rate and confidence was not there whatsoever. Maybe it was time for him to go to another league, and maybe a lower level league, to help him get his confidence back up, because clearly playing in the Premier League is not working out for him. And that's exactly what he did when he made a big money move to Besiktas in the Turkish league. The fans adored him and showed him a lot of love when he signed for the club. However, a couple months down the line, we got to the scene where he was being subbed out and was being booed by the same fans that once showed him a ton of love. The fans did not boo him for no reason though. Dele came into Besiktas getting a big paycheck and were expecting a bigger output from him. Instead, in 11 games, he only scored 2 goals for the club. He then eventually became a bench player, and he didn't even see minutes in the last few games for Besiktas. Additionally, it's being reported that Besiktas want to terminate Dele Alli's loan spot at the club, but Everton reportedly don't want him back either, with both clubs having the right for Dele Alli this season in terms of where he's going to play, and both not wanting him. It does seem like he's going to be staying at Turkey for the rest of the season, but won't be playing much. It's not looking too good for Dele and his career. Now, reminder, Dele Alli is still only 26 years old, and this is usually the time where players start to hit their prime. However, for Dele, every year it seems like his career is slowly falling apart. Who knows, maybe Dele could find another lower league and shine there to get his confidence back and get his career back on track. Or maybe, which seems like the more likely option, Dele Alli is going to have an early retirement, because it does seem like the sport he once loved, football, is something he's now bored of. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments on how you feel about Dele Alli and whether he can get his career back on track. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos just like this, and also hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when I drop another video. Anyways, take care everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.